to 8. Now this was absolutely perfect speed. The 2 ball went straight into the middle pocket, which is what it's trying to do. And the 1 ball went up to the head rail, as with the cue ball, and it's got perfect position. Now the only problem here, of course, is the 6 ball. This will be kind of tough to get on. It looks as if it can be played into the upper, from our perspective, right-hand corner pocket, if, of course, one could have cue ball in hand and place it next to the 8 ball there. But if you have to actually get there, it's kind of tough. Apart from that, I think the combination shot 6 onto 8 looks ridiculous. So I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to do. The option I like best is get an angle on the 4 ball, then shoot the 4 in, open the 6 and the 9, because the 5 ball is in front of the corner pocket. So he could now, for example, well, this is the only time he can do this, he could shoot the 4 in, drift medium speed into these 2 balls there, and shoot the 5 ball from there, which I guess is what it's going to do. Yes. And locks the 10 and 8 ball up now. Now, this is tougher because opening up the 8 and 10 is absolutely in the realm, well, in the realm of, you know, possibility. He would have to get a 2 rail angle on the 7 ball on the left hand, or a 1 rail angle on the right hand, in which case he could go into the 8, 2 rails, or from the other side 1 rail, but that's not without risk. And even worse, he gets too close to the rail. Now, this is just getting tougher. Like every time I'm looking at it. There's an outside chance of going 1 rail into the 8, which is almost ridiculous to try on a new clock. That's the angle I was talking about before, but he would have had to get the cue ball off the side rail in order to actually shoot that shot to perfection. From where he was at, it's kind of tough, and now he's going to glance over the 8 and lag the cue ball to the foot rail, and then comes up short and leaves an edge. Ronnie just called the bank. And gets absolutely perfect on the 9 ball into the middle pocket by running into the middle knuckle. Wow. Sometimes when you make a great shot, you need to get lucky also, which is alright. And after all, this was a perfectly executed cross bank, so We're going to get to see another break by Ronald, who wins game number 30 and is now trailing the match by a score of 9 games to 21. And I'm still waiting for him to stick to his promise and run 12 or more in a short while, which he promised he'll do. Dimitri refused the bank. There was a chance of sliding off the rail, the 4-ball, and the rail for position on the 2-ball there, and he refused that and played safe instead. And this is not going to get better from here. Exactly. Nice little safety exchange here, and I believe he's still able to kick at the one. I might even call it. He's calling the 1-ball into the middle pocket. It's going to go at it 2 rails. And missed it by an inch or less. Now, of course, the situation's completely different because all the balls are open all of a sudden. Dimitri is muttering because he got off straight, which he shouldn't have. It's not a problem. Well, no, it's not a problem. He needs to get a nice angle onto the 4 so he can either punch or roll the cue ball 1 rail out and get an angle on the 5. This is absolutely perfect. It just needs to shoot in the 4-ball, natural position. What he does not want to do, I guess, is get straight in on the 5-ball. My assumption is that he wants to get out further in the middle of the table and he actually was trying to get something straight on it. So now, probably going to go 1 rail behind the 6 and shoot the 6 into the same pocket he's shooting the 5 in. And get an angle that is off straight so he can draw back to the middle of the table afterwards and shoot the 7 from there. So basically plays the cue ball roughly in the middle of the table and leave himself a 2-rail angle on the 7. Which again he does absolutely perfectly. This is a little niftier than it looks from the perspective that you don't want to go too far. Well, that's actually what I meant. This is still workable, but it's nobody's favorite position. tendency is that he's probably able to follow it or punch it out. Because the clock is new, you can do stuff like this semi-easily. He's leaving himself a slightly tougher cut than he wanted to. Now on used clock, you could probably slow roll this. On a new clock, it might be wiser to go around the 10 free rails. He actually went for the second option that I mentioned, but unfortunately just missed the ball there. And Ronald just made a super shot from the 9 ball to lay the basis for winning game number 33. And he's now trailing the match by a score of 10 games to 21.